Welcome to Clean Conversations. What kind of podcast is this podcast? It's one hosted by Tim and my co-host Roy as we discover clean language. And what better way to start our journey together, Roy, in discovering how to start a clean language session. So I'd love to turn it over to you and get us started.
Thank you, Tim, and hello, everyone. And that's a good question. How do you actually start a clean language session? Do you just start asking questions? Well, that's one possibility. The thing about just starting to ask clean questions, people who have never experienced clean language sessions, is that people might find it a bit strange. If we'll do a quick role play, let's say we don't know each other, and I meet you, and I'm like, "Hi, Tim, how are you?"
I'm great, Roy.
You're great. And
I am.
what kind of great is that great? There we go. Yeah. So it can bring things like that very easily, mainly because of the way that the clean questions are formulated. People are not used to the fact that we feed them those words back, because usually they expect us to just continue the conversation, or at best ask, what's so great? So when working with clean language, especially if this is in a, let's say, therapeutic setting or professional setting, it is better to set the stage, to tell people that I am going to ask you some questions, and they might sound strange or weird. All I want you to do is just let it be, okay? They might not sound linguistically correct, because many times when we do clean questions, they don't sound linguistically correct because we're taking a chunk, almost like one-to-one from what the subject said, and we just repeat it, but now towards you. If a person will tell me sadness feels like a heavy, dark weight in my heart, and that heavy, dark weight in your heart, that's like what? Or something like that. The person will be like, huh? What? Doesn't sound like a sentence. So we need to set the stage. We need to tell them this is going to happen. I'm going to ask you strange questions. Another important thing is to tell people that they don't have to have the answers, right? Because many times these questions send people into a very deep inquiry. That's the beauty of the clean language. And sometimes they don't know. And if we give them permission in advance not to know, then they feel okay when they don't know. So I usually tell people, if you don't know the answer, nothing comes up, it's okay to say, I don't know. And one more thing is to make them feel comfortable that if something comes up and they don't want to talk about it, that's absolutely fine as well. Usually, people give so many words that we can just change direction. We went with something, and if that didn't work, the client doesn't want to talk about that. Okay, plenty of other words. And in at least one of the demo sessions that we have on our website, there's a good example for that when a client didn't want to talk about something and just shifted to a completely different direction. So it's important to make the subject feel as comfortable as possible by setting the stage. Once you set the stage, you go to the agreement. Then before you jump into those fantastic clean questions, it is good to ask, what do you want to work on?
Oh, classic.
The classic, right? And that
Yeah.
question can be
What do
asked,
you want?
what do you want, right? It's like,
Yeah,
so
okay.
you can ask, what do you want to work on? Or what brings you here today? Or what would you like to explore? Anything which is in those realms that will bring from the subject the topic that they wish to dive deeper into.
Would you start differently for like a coaching, like if you're a tennis coach and you're trying to help a player develop something versus like a therapeutic sitting in the office with me doing like a change work type of session, or do you still start the same way?
I will start exactly the same way
Yeah.
because first we need to understand where the subject want to go or what they want to explore.
Right, exactly. Yep. Okay.
And all it requires is one question, really, what it is that you want. What would you like to get from this session, for example, right? Any of these questions will bring about something enough. It's like even one word. The person said, confidence. All right, good. You have something to start with. Is there anything else about confidence?
Right.
What kind of confidence is that confidence? Where is confidence? Well, yeah, confidence is like what? So all we need is one word to begin, but we need to know the direction.
Right.
And that's how you can start a clean language session.
I don't think I've ever heard you say it so cleanly and more importantly, so short.
Good.
I'm very impressed. Now, if someone's listening to this or watching us discuss how to start this clean language session, what's the one thing you'd like them to take away from this session?
The most important thing in a clean language session is the subject. It's not for us to guess. It's not for us to suggest. It's not for us to recommend, to assume. We need to ask and we need to get their answer. So, and then we start to lead in a way the exploration from there.
Great. So now a little bit of a self plug. If somebody wants to learn more about this, where's a good place for them to come and experience it, maybe for the first time without knowing anything?
Well, we have free practice sessions. You can find all the details if you come to welcome.noticeyourchange.com. Everything is there and you're welcome, all levels, and it's free and it's fun and it's a very, very safe environment. And we have also like demo sessions that you can see. We have group sessions where people practice and they're recorded, so you can get a lot of information from there.
Well, Roy, thank you very much for that short introduction into how to start a clean language session.
Pleasure.
That was Clean Conversations, where the questions were simple and the discoveries were yours.